The worst crash since 2001, 1987, 1937. As the national debt meter ran out of digits on Times Square earlier this week, the comparisons of the current crash with earlier catastrophic events are on a sliding scale backward. Tomorrow morning they may compare today's performance to 1929. And yet it doesn't quite feel like anything's amiss. Stores are abundantly full of goods, so are the parking lots in front of them, and the bags of supermarket shoppers. And as I was stopped at a red light driving my daughter to her violin lesson yesterday, I couldn't help but marvel at the Latin American construction workers putting the last touches on a new cheesecake factory in a brand spanking new addition to our mall, across from a brand spanking new complex of apartments they're finishing. Next to me, a college girl in a $35,000 Mini Cooper was yakking it up on her cell phone, wearing $200 Jackie O shades with lenses like saucers. How odd! We're in a war that we're unaware of in our daily lives, and we're in a market crash nobody but the talking heads on TV seem to notice. Yet. This is going to change today. Come Monday, companies all over America will start laying off people. It's a reflex and a natural one. Portfolio valuations have been destroyed by up to 20–30% on real estate and 50–60% on stock portfolios. Even if the destruction of value is mostly theoretic for most people who don't trade daily, it's a chiller. Come next week, we'll see a spike in new unemployment filings. We'll see a downturn in spending and a collapse in company earnings across the board that will last through January and probably well into the first quarter of 2009. Now, my general recommendation is not to panic during market downturns like this. To the contrary, history has proven time and time again that the seeds of wealth are sown during market crises by buying good companies at crash valuations. This is exactly what you need to be doing over the next couple of months. Buy judiciously and in small, controlled quantities, mind you. Maybe by investing a fixed amount in stocks every week. Set aside 50 or 100 bucks of beer money. Skip the kids' video games. Don't allow them to buy another CD or iTunes. Cut down on their Christmas list. Take the money you'd spent on pizza or lunches until Christmas and religiously invest it in stocks. Buy shares of Ford Motors, refiner Alon, debt services provider Stewart Enterprises. Buy General Electric, General Motors, General Mills. Buy them share by share. Instead of coffee, instead of gum, instead of your daily newspaper. Walk instead of taking the bus. Buy $10 worth at a time. Heck, that buys you 5 shares of Ford today. Buy stocks at prices your father wishes he had bought them for back in the 70s. But buy them gradually and be prepared to experience some despair even then. No stock is ever cheap enough that you can't lose another 90% of your principal. Let's not make any mistakes about it. Times will be tough. Your own wife will tell you you're crazy. So compromise. Make sure you have cash on hand. Easier said than done in many families. So cut down on expenses. Keep the kids home for a semester rather than hand over tens of thousands of dollars to some college next term. Think that a degree in Chicano poetry or international relations is important? Not if nobody's hiring. Nobody cares. Instead, take 10% of the tuition you saved and buy stocks in their names. Did I say it often enough yet? Stop buying useless things. Start buying stocks. Start buying and don't stop. If you stay employed, keep paying into those 401ks and 403bs. In fact, max out your contributions. Invest for the long term, and for crying out loud, don't start buying gold now. Buy a gun instead. The markets are wreaking havoc not only with your retirement nest egg, but with the balance sheets of hedge funds and the billionaires who are propping them up. In the weeks ahead, dozens of funds will close. There will be a run on the principal. Funds will sell off everything they've hoarded over the past 6 years. Oil, molybdenum, copper, indium, and gold. Today is a turning point in global economic expansion. Be prepared to suffer, but think ahead. Over the next 3 months, the seeds of great fortunes will be sown. Cash is king in the coming weeks, but part of that cash needs to be converted into capital. What can you do today? I urge you to sign up to our free TFN e-news alert. Over the next days and weeks, I will personally alert you to breaking opportunities and events that will shape your and your family's financial future for the decade to come. Find our free sign-up at todaysfinancialnews.com or right next to this video screen. For todaysfinancialnews.com, I'm J. Christoph Amberger.